Hey there everybody. I'm back to create a character using Bear's house rules for Against the Darkmaster. So I've done bits and pieces and all the prep for this particular character because some of it came from the Grievous Grimoire, and so I have the character open in Roll20 where it was originally created, just for reference. But I'm going to get to it and show you how to make a character from scratch. You start by going into the compendium for actors, actor templates. Now in this case we're going for a spellcaster, so I'm going to import that. And then I need to get started. Okay, so there are a couple of things missing from these. They are drive points and a few modifiers and stuff like that that I changed for the local version of the template. So why don't I use that instead? Which one is it? That one. That one's got drive points and has half move and attack. That's the one we want. So not that one. Alrighty, so we'll make a copy of this one and then drag it down here, and then we'll use it. There. Right. So I need to get those changes put into the system. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is give her a name. Andune Telonar. We're going to give her a picture. Now I'm going to go to my assets. This is on the Forge, so going to my asset library, and there is her picture right at the top. Oh, if you click these, then you can see them, which ones they are. You don't have to worry about names. So that's the one I'm going to use. And then the next thing is to make sure that the token image is synced properly. And because this is an NPC, you want to know whether it's going to be one of many or one of one. And in this case it's one of one, a named PC, rather than a goblin or an orc in general. So I don't need that. This person is neutral. Name. This is the name that'll be shown. And Janae, always for everyone. Then we get to appearance, and what happens is if it has a mystery man, which is the white cowled figure, here on the main tab, when you put a picture in there, it automatically updates and links the token image with the same one. But we want to use the token image. So I'm replacing it. Now we're checking scale. No issues there. Vision. Has vision 30 meters. Yeah, we'll leave that alone. Light resources. Tracked hit points and tracked magic points. Shown always for the owner. That's all good. Update the token. The token data. Alright, now we're ready to start dragging and dropping the things that we created in previous videos. So, they are in the house rules. We created the kin for Wild Elf, so we're going to drag the Wild Elf kin on. And then we're going to replace the original. We're going to leave these stat mods for later, but we're going to remove those, and then rename this thing to base stats. Okay. Now, NPC base values. Now these are the weapon values, so if you were creating a generic NPC, then you could just stick in their combat values in here and you'd be good to go. We don't need that because we're going to do it as if she was a character. So ranks NPC, we're going to go ranks level 1. It has 1 level in there already. Okay. So, culture. She's from the Weald. So we're going to go to the Against the Darkmaster items, to cultures, scroll down to Weald, drag that on, and it appears, it provides all of the data we're looking for, and we have wealth level +1. So we close that and increase the level to 1. Right, wealth +0 for the kin. Oh, but magic points 1 and 3 background points. Should have noted that. Where are we? Magic points. So for kin, you get 1. And we'll just leave the current value for now. There's no point in setting it until we've finished the rest. But you can see it's already set up. Okay, so that's kin and culture, now vocation, and that vocation is ranger, and we don't have a ranger here, but we created a ranger earlier today, and we'll drag that over. Okay, so then we don't need this one, so we will delete it. And let's have a look at the modifiers, which we need to make some choices. Those are already set. Right, okay, so we need to set 1 to 15 and one of them to 10, and then delete the rest. So we're going to go 15, 15, 10, 10. And then we're going to delete that one. Careful. Alright, double check, all good. Now we don't need to see this one anymore because we already have one thing that says what our vocation is. So we'll just change this back to modifier and it'll go away with the other modifiers. Okay, now let's have a look at Vocation Ranger and see if there's anything we need to do. Right, we need to make a choice here. Skirmishing Mastery or Weapon Mastery? Well, she's going to be bow oriented, so we will go with Skirmishing Mastery as her spell lore lists. Spell lores. Okay, and she gets 1 magic point per level. So, back to magic points. Come here. Vocation 1. And she's level 1, so 2. We could automate this by putting in some formulae based on her level. Once we know what these values are. And that you'd probably do for a PC just to help you out and automate that. But we're not going to do that for an NPC. Okay. So, Wield. Does it do anything? You know what I need? I need that to show up here so I can edit it. Actually, I can go to the Advancement tab and go to the Culture and open that up. But what I am going to do is put that, change that to Character so that it shows up on the front tab. Do we have any spell lists to choose? We do not. Okay, but now that culture is up front. Okay, base movement rate. She's standard medium-sized two-legged thingy, so 15 meters is normal. Don't need to make any choices for any of those. Background points, 3. We'll need to remember that. Languages, right. They speak Middle speak. And Elvish. Now, there's a proper name for that. I think it starts with a Q, but I'm going to call it Elvish for now. Okay. So, we can already see things starting to firm up. Negatives. That's not good. Oh, because of racial modifiers. So why don't we, do we want to do this right now? Why not? I usually like to pick the backgrounds first, but let's see what this is going to do. She doesn't need to be too strong, because I think we're going to do something for her blade skill that's going to involve using a background. She wants to be quick, so let's try 20 there. I think because Ranger's wisdom is important and wisdom's good for perception and so on, her wisdom's going to be good, so we'll make it a 30 by making this a 25. So that's 45 so far. She's got 30 to go in accordance with Bear's house rules, 75 points instead of the 50. So let's get her bearing. Some of her spells require bearing, and she's kind of a commanding person, so kind of like for that to be up there. But I'd really rather she didn't have a negative wit. So we'll put 10 in there. I don't think she needs any extra fortitude. She's going to be quick. That governs athletics. I don't think we need to really worry about that. So let's, if we put 20 into that, that gives her a 15 bearing. So that's 45, 55, 75. We'll leave that for now, and we might adjust it later. And that starts to fill us out a little bit. We might as well. The nice thing about this sheet is that you can. It will track every ranks item that you add to it. It'll track that level independently, so you don't get mixed up if you head down one path or whatever, and a couple of levels down, you say, well, or not a couple of levels, but when you're creating the character, you say, I'd like to change my choice. In most things like on Roll20, for example, all of your numbers, your ranks numbers are in one column, so you'd have to remember how many were in each column for each purpose, and all of the bonuses and so on, whereas this one splits them all up to keep track of them nice, neat, and tidy. So what we're going to do is we're going to start assigning some of these for her first level. We might not get finished, but there's going to be some spell lores at the bottom that we're going to need to add. So we might as well get some of those out of the way now. So armor, she gets 1 per level. Combat, she gets 3. Okay, for now we're going to give her 2 in ranged and 1 in blades and see how that goes. We might want to send some towards a specialist skill. I'm not sure. Alright, so that's combat. Adventuring. I think, yeah, riding probably not so much. Hunting, maybe. Already pretty good there. I think what we'll do is we'll bring athletics, nature, and wandering up. Athletics, nature, wandering. Okay. Only gets 1 DP in roguery. So, perception. Crucial. Make that happen. In lore, really? Cultures is knowing about other cultures. Well, the elves here are a little bit xenophobic. So I don't know. And her wisdom's good. So let's have a look at the front tab. Wisdom. Healer. She's going to be a ranger. She's not going to have healing. It would be very handy for her to be able to do it manually. There we go. And note we don't need to stay on the advancement tab to figure out how many DP per level we get, because it shows it right here as well. So 2 in body. And we get 3 in spell lores. Now, the way this works, we're going to go for wide rather than deep, and we'll get 3 spell lores out of her list, which is why I left this open. There's her list. So, Ranger's Way, Hunter's Foe. I mentioned those while we were creating them, and those are nice, really nice. Chanting, aspects of nature. Aspects of nature triggers something in my mind. Let us see. Journals. The homebrew. Okay, so between videos I created this spellcaster reference, and we are going to go for Ranger. And what it is hyperlinks to the various journals. So, aspects of nature looks like this. This is hiding, sneaking, that sort of thing. Chanting. Courage, endure the elements, suppress curse, repel magic, sanctuary. That looks like a good one. I don't know. Okay. She's got a bearing of 15, not 30 like her wisdom, but still. That one we're definitely going to take. So Eldritch Might. So go over here to the items. This is items, right? Yeah, items, spell lores, Eldritch Might. And we drag Eldritch Might onto the character sheet. And we can see, sort of, well, something's popped up, so we know that it dropped. So I'm copying the text, and then pasting it into there, so that the ranks get assigned. And we'll bring that up, and we can see, yep, it has 1 rank assigned to it, and we have a 25% bonus. All right. So I think for now, we're going to take the other 2, which is Hunter's Foe and Ranger's Way. And I did something interesting with those. So I created the spell lore in one journal with all of the spells I said they're all hyperlinked inside, but I think this is the one that's actually in the compendium, and this is the one that was loaded. So if I then go to that, yeah, now it'll dance around it in this one. Doesn't really matter. I just tried that this evening, so we'll see how that goes. But what this is the item. So we can drag that onto the sheet. Copy it. And paste that in there. And then we close this. Close that. And do the same thing for Ranger's Way. Now it doesn't matter where it came from, because all of the hyperlinks to the object, well, they would have, they'd be obvious if they were broken. So they're not. All right. Now something's interesting there. And I betcha I know what it is. Nope. These ones, they know what they're... I wonder if I need to do that. Okay. I will figure this out. There's got to be a way. I'm wondering, all items? It's going to be a modifier. Wisdom bonus, let's have a look at that one. Yep. That's what it's going to be. Okay, so we need to add Rangers to the list. Rangers and Hunters need to be added to the list. And let's hope that does the trick. It did. Okay. It's wonderful having these little problems. Okay, where'd it go? Huh. I thought I typed that in there. Anyway, there it is. They are set. She's got a pretty good chance already for those at 40. Alright, so that's her first level stuff spent. We'll close that because we don't need it. These are good. Wisdom, magic stat. Okay. For now, it's your magic stat divided by 10, that rounded down. That gives you the number of points per level. That was interesting. If I change that to 7, what's it going to do? Weird flicker. Okay. Anyway, we know we have 5 magic points at first level, so... and these are her stats. Now we just need backgrounds and gear. So, looking at the sheet on the other side, she's got some phobias, or not phobias, but some flaws from the Grievous Grimoire. So we are going to create some. What's the easiest way to do that? I think they're just text, so we'll figure that out. We'll just use a trait. So do we have a trait handy? That's a trait. we can just duplicate that one and use it. Clone it, and we'll call it flaw. Last born. Major flaw. And this is going to be a background. You can see it immediately jumps into background no matter what text you have typed there. Okay. Now, I'm just going to copy the text from that. -20, oh dear. Last natural born elf in the west and all elves know of her. That's not a good thing. -20 to any social interactions. Well, if I'd known that, now that I do, I need to change this. Let's just duplicate this one. Okay. Flaw. Last born. Major. It is always on. Is it always on? No, it's going to be conditional. And it'll reset after every roll. And it's going to modify now. Social interactions. What would that be? Charisma, likely. Yep, that's what we're going with. -20. Charisma. Get rid of that. It's a background. Copy. Paste. So -20 to her charisma skill. Last one. Interacting with elves. There we go. So, now we don't need this one. But I could have used it for something else, which I'm going to do now. Flaw. Path sworn. Maybe I should check this one before I continue. Minor. Now I could have copied and pasted the text from the Grievous Grimoire, but this will do. And this one I'll just clone. And phobia. Actually, flaw, phobia. Minor, whoops. There we go. No, I'm not going to do that. Too many brackets. Fear of undead. Background. Make that go away. I wonder if that's going to come back as quirk. Yeah. I'm not going to leave it at that. I'm going to go get the Grievous Grimoire and find phobias. flaws. There they are. Phobia. Oath sworn. Path sworn. Right. Copy. It's not path sworn. It's a typo. Oath sworn. There we go. That's the minor version, and we'll close that. Okay. Fear of the Undead. Let's go. This gives the mechanics. Fear of a specific common thing. Well, not that common, I hope. The unliving. There we are. Whenever you're in contact with the offending thing, attack level 3, become frightened. Good. And that one's a special one. Good enough. I wonder if I can shorten that. Not a lot. Okay, we'll leave that alone. Okay, so that gives her 5 more background points. 3 for the major and 1 each for the minors, so she has 8 background points. Now, what does the character sheet say? It says she wants Strider and Gifted, but she got Gifted because she had no Swiftness bonus. She has a Swiftness bonus. Her Swiftness is really good. We might still do that. But, okay, so we will go to... One of the things that I haven't done very well is the backgrounds, because they're all in one lump. So if we see one like this, then it's everything for Ancient Heirloom is all in the one. But I have another source of better made ones. Where are they? Backgrounds. Yes. Okay, I put them in here. So we're going to go for Gifted Minor for 1 point. Where'd it go? Gifted. All right. So I think we're going to give her, well, why not? Swiftness. I'm just going to check and make sure it happens. It happened. Good. It's always on, gifted, and we're going to put in brackets Swiftness so we know what we did. Minor. Comme ça. Okay. Strider. She really doesn't like to be in towns. So we have Strider outdoors. So if she's outdoors, away from civilization, she gets all of this. Plus 30 to willpower and toughness. That seems unusual. Plus 30 bonus on your save rolls against weariness and starvation. Okay. And a plus 20 in your stealth and perceptions while you're out in the wilderness. Hmm. So those sound very specific. This one doesn't. This is weariness, starvation. Write your nature. Crap. Okay, so is there one there? There is not. So we will clone it, and we will say Strider nature. Why you want to be in the wilderness. Okay. So these are as long as you're out of doors. Yeah, I think we need to replace those. Make them conditional. So what we'll do is we will clone it. But this one we're just going to make a modifier. Take away that one. Take away that one. And this is weirdness and starvation versus. Yeah, that's not likely to be indoors. Okay. That's not going to be always on. It's a condition. And it'll reset. Plus 30 on saves for that. Good. Happy. Make this go away. This one is always on. No, it's not always on. It's always on if you're outdoors. But we're not going to set it to reset after every roll because you're probably going to be traveling through the wilderness. Yeah. You're going to want it on unless you're in a city. Yeah, we'll call it that. Good enough. Okay, so that's 4 of our 8 points. Now, here go another 3. Elven Training Major. Okay, what this is going to do is... Come on, where'd it go? I'm in the wrong section. So, the first part, you can use your swiftness instead of your brawn as a stat modifier for your blade skill, providing you're using a short sword, long sword, or scimitar. Excellent. That is going to be always on. Because she's not going to use anything but one of those. So we'll just leave it on. That's a background. Now, the other one is this. Been raised by the elves. Well, she is an elf. But wild elves aren't very magical, so this is going to be a little bit different. Anyway, we need to get elven lore and spell songs. As spell lores. Elven lore. And you see it's already given her the 1 rank because it's in there as 1 rank, and then we go get spell songs, and we grab that one too. Alright. I'm beginning to think we should have given her gifted bearing instead. of swiftness. Nah, we can always adjust it. Nah, that'll be alright. Okay, now, so that means what we should be seeing is her blade skill just went way up, because the difference between her brawn and her swiftness is 25. So it added 25 to her blade skill, which brings it up to a 50. So that's quite nice. But I think what we're going to do is give her... We're going to give her a magic bow, or we're going to train her really well in bows. I think we're going to give her a magic bow. Okay, so let's just make sure we got this right. We get 5 for those. So, Strider Outdoors. Strider Outdoors when outdoors major. There we go. Elven training. Major. Okay. So that's 3, 6, 7. We'll go for the minor, ancient heirloom, I think. That's going to give her 1 of those. So we're going to give her a magic bow, I think. Or 2 skill ranks in bows. Magic bow. Get those undead things. So let's have a look. Ancient heirloom, yeah. She's not taking a spell casting item. So we'll delete that. Magical focus, what does that do? Kin magic points, that seems. Ancient heirloom acts as a +1 magical focus. No, we're not doing that either. +10 to a skill. That's the one we're doing. But it's a magic item modifier to a specific skill. An ancient heirloom. So we're going to delete this. Are we? Yeah, we're going to buy ourselves an attack with a longbow, which will turn it into a magical longbow. And we'll describe it that way. So we're going to go with, we're just going to Yeah, I think. Let's go have a look. Container. Let's just delete that, I think. Now let's have a look and see what's in it. A trait. So that's there somewhere. Where the hell did it go? There. Oh, it went up. Okay. It went up with the passions, that's why. A name and an origin. Really original name. Foe Seeker. A +10 magical long bow was gifted you by your mentor. And that should do the trick. There we go. That's up there. Choose the Elven community. We'll leave that stuff for later. And we don't need that. Okay. Yep, that'll do. So that's all 8 background points. Now we need stuff. So we're going to get that. So VsD items. So we need armor. And hang on, so we've got struggling because she's got no money whatsoever. Maybe we should have gotten well equipped instead. Nope. Alright, so what we're going to do is go with weapons. We need to drag a longbow onto her. Let's just make sure that happened. It did. And a short sword. Now it is edged, but it can either cut or pierce, and you choose which attack you're doing as you go. So we're going to modify this one. Ranged plus 10. Plus 10 magical longbow. Now you got to be careful here. The name of an attack is really, really important. It has to start with a skill, the precise skill name followed by a colon that governs it. That's where that attack's ranged works for the modifiers. And it has to end with the critical name precisely in brackets. Anything you put in the middle is yours. You can do whatever you like. But the front and the back, really important. You don't mess with those. Okay. It has qualities load. So, because there's a house rule involving that, load and shoot is a modifier based on quick draw ranks. Speaking of which, I think I'm going to do that because it doesn't affect just bows. It affects drawing things. So I'm going to, because I forgot that's another thing that he allows, is specialty skills. Quick draw. There we go. He allows 1 rank in a specialty skill. Okay. Now, so then we're going to have to go to advancement. We're going to have to go to, let's say level 1, and we'll add it there. Okay, we're not using songs and tales, so we might as well say quick space draw. Come on, case sensitive, and no typos. 1. Okay, and I'm going to drag it down to the bottom. That thing again. And then I'm going to go through, I'm not going to delete any of those, I'm just going to leave them as they are. But I bet you I screwed that one up. Yep, Songs and Tales is now undefined. Shouldn't have done that. There. At least there has to be a 0 in every one of them, or it ends up undefined. So we're all good. We now have quick draw, falls in under roguery, and when we look at if we go into combat, versus weariness, flaw, fastborn, interacting with elves, where is that? Load and shoot. There it is. So if we hit load and shoot, it was 20 minus 20 plus the quick draw ranks. We have 1 rank. And all attacks whose names start with R, and there's only one that's ranged. So one type of attack anyway. So let's we have an 85. It should go to 65 plus 1 is 66. It didn't do it there. Let's bring that up. Yeah, okay, there we are. 66. It's not changing the combat bonus. It's only changing the minus 19 load and shoot. So we know the quick draw is working. Good enough. So she's got her sword, she's got her bow, armor. We're missing armor. And we're going to, because she's only got she's only got 10 skill in armor and she's got no money. We're going to not give her leather armor because that gives her a minus 20 penalty and minus 5 CMB. What we'd want to do is give her, if she's 2nd level and gets another point in armor to 15, we would get her superior leather armor, which would take that penalty down to a 15 and remove that penalty completely. But she can't afford it right now, so there we go. So we'll give her leather bracers, which has no penalty at all, covers your forearms. See, it instantly appears here. We'll give leather greaves. The leather helmet is going to penalize her perception a bit, but you don't want to get hit in the head with no hat on. And then we're looking for leather jerkin, which happens to have a penalty of minus 10. So that all evens out, and she doesn't take any movement penalties or anything like that. And we'll see the perception penalty is applied automatically. Where are you? She had a plus 10 kin modifier for perception. So now it's only 5 because of the helmet. Alright. Not bad. And I think she's done. Except for passions and if we go on notes and equipment, there is no equipment, and the experience hooks. I usually drag those on. They're the first 3 in the book. So these are simple. You say you face dangerous foes and/or difficult situations, and then you can just check the checkbox, and then when you come to the end of the adventure, you say, "Yep, I did that." And the GM can decide how much experience to assign to it. I think that is everything. That's enough to get us going. 65 hit points. No shield. Shields are really handy. Let's give her a target shield. But, and you can see it immediately pops it over to the shield side, and you can change it so that it's in the front. And if you apply a parry amount, it applies to both. If you switch it to the side, then the parry amount can only be applied to your front by the rules. So your 35 goes to a 50, and then you've got that on the side. But most of the time, she will have that target shield unequipped. You see the numbers immediately jump and it changes to no shield. I think we're good to go. So, and we will drag her out. Looks good. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great night. Cheers.